Hello, Steve White, Steve White's 89. Well, Madonna appeared on Jimmy Fallon last night, which I guess was during the morning here in Australia, on Friday morning. It was a bit messy, but before I get into that, Madam X is not streaming in Australia like it was advertised. It was advertised to be available on October 8th. I'm pretty sure it said October 8th. I saw the ad on commercial TV 3 or 4 times, and I'm pretty sure it said October 8th every time. So I thought, cool, we'll get it a little bit before America, which often happens with releases. Sometimes it doesn't. If we get it after you, then depends on what time it's released for you guys. If it's released during the day or in the night, we'll get it in the morning or like really early in the morning or the evening or the afternoon, or it just really depends. But I saw today, well, I mean, I couldn't find it, and I saw today that it said streaming Saturday. So that's great. You tell us for weeks that it's going to be streaming October 8th, which is Friday, and then on Friday you tell us, oh, no, sorry, it's tomorrow. Good one, Paramount Plus. You're doing a great job. So, yeah, I was expecting to be watching it basically now, but I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow, and I still have no idea. I did actually try Googling to check before and after, and I couldn't find anything. I got one wonderful article going through Madonna's whole career and how amazing she is. The article was, how to watch Madam X in Australia on Paramount Plus. And it goes through this whole article about all Madonna's hits and records and all this, and then at the end it says, streaming October 8th. I'm like, what time? I'm like, actually, I don't know if it even said streaming October 8th. I think it just said streaming on Paramount Plus. It had like no details, but that was the name of the article, how to find it. Okay, so, not happy. Venting. Okay, so, Jimmy Fallon. Like I said, it was a bit messy. Madonna had her grills in, so of course you know how that sounds. She looked okay. She had a little short black dress, sleeveless. She had one red glove, which she kept calling a gauntlet, when the other thing she was wearing was like a fingerless glove / gauntlet, which was lace. And she had too much jewellery for her neck. And she was fine. She was playful. Jimmy seemed more nervous than usual. He seemed really nervous. It's like he hadn't met her before or something, because he's done a few interviews with her and they went really well. This one he just seemed really anxious. I don't know why. But yes, we got it on. I saw it on YouTube in 3 segments. There was a theatre with kids or something thing, which seemed to actually be before the interview section, but I watched the interview sections first. There were 2. One seemed complete, but the other one seemed like it started into the interview a bit, so whether they cut a bit out or whether they just cut out the audience cheering after the ads or something, I'm not sure. But there were a couple little interesting bits in it. She was asked, has anyone ever gotten you right in a review? And she actually said some have, and I'm like, I was surprised she gave them that much. She was misbehaving a bit. She was pulling his cards away. She climbed on the desk. She flashed the audience her butt. She pulled off her red glove and was slamming the desk with it, then to get the fingers back in so she could put it back on. And Jimmy was like acting like he was being attacked or something, but he seemed genuinely nervous. I don't know why. It was really weird, actually. She espoused her love for James Baldwin, stating that artists are there to disrupt the piece. He asked her what she wanted people to take away from the concert or the documentary film. I'm like, has he seen it? It's just a concert, apparently. She said that art is important in our life, which is good. He asked her, her first job. We all know it was Dunkin' Donuts, although it may not have been her first job, but I think it was her first job in New York, or it seems to get counted as the first job. I'd like to know what her first job actually was, because it sounds like it wasn't. But she got fired for playing with the jelly shooters or whatever, so of course they made that phallic. He asked her when she first heard her first song, Everybody on the Radio, and she told a story about how she just signed a contract and was told it was going to be on the radio, and then she heard it on a friend's radio down the hall, and she went out, because she could hear it sort of coming down the hall. It sounded like she was signing a contract at home, and as soon as she signed it, she heard it. That's what it sounded like. But I'm assuming she signed it maybe she took it home to read it or something and then signed it at home, and then suddenly it just came on the radio. That's what it sounded like in the story, but I doubt that's how it actually went. She was asked about her visual autobiography, not biopic, and she said something that was interesting, which she probably can't take back now. She said that it was written by a man, and she was like, ugh, men. And he's like, some men are good. And she's like, good man, no, that's an oxymoron. So she came across a little bit of a man-hater, which of course she has for a while in the press, but, you know, I'm sure she was just being playful. And she said that the film not only was written by a man, but it was also going to be directed by a huge misogynist who has no understanding, respect, or just any just a misogynist, just no understanding or respect of women. So she kind of objected and said that she would basically make herself a nightmare to them if they tried to make the film. And then they ended up abandoning those plans and going with her writing it with someone of her choice, I'm guessing, which is how they got the very, very long-suffering Diablo Cody, who, whenever you saw her and Madonna in an interview when they were working together, her eyes were screaming, help me. She didn't say it, but her eyes were screaming, help me. Then they went into an impromptu little bit of like a virgin, because she was asking him how he felt. What else did they talk about? Got the jelly squirter. Oh, there was something interesting about Vogue too. He said, because he was going through facts, are these right or wrong? And he said, is it true that Vogue was originally going to be a B-side, not a single, because they didn't think it was strong enough? And she said yes. Some people can't see into the future. Basically, there are a lot of unenlightened people in the world. I'm like, wasn't it Madonna who wanted to make it a B-side and the studio who talked her into releasing it as a single because she couldn't see that it was strong, which often happens with artists where they create something and don't realise how good it is, and she told it the other way, which is not how I've heard it in the past. So that was interesting. This is not very good or not very promising for the factualness of her forthcoming autobiographical visual autobiographical film. I can't talk. Yeah, so that was interesting. And another thing that was interesting was he asked, is it true you turned down the roles of Catwoman and the lead in Showgirls, and do you regret it? And she's like, she didn't regret, and did she see them? She said she kind of wished she'd taken on Catwoman because it was fierce, but she didn't regret Showgirls. Now, what I always heard was that she auditioned in like a black bodysuit, basically, and crawled all over the desk of the producer or whoever was doing the audition or whatever, and she didn't get it, and they gave it to Michelle Pfeiffer. Not that she turned it down. So that's an interesting story, again, I haven't heard. So again, I'm wondering about the accuracy of her forthcoming visual autobiography. And the other thing she said that was interesting was she also said she turned down the role in The Matrix. I'm like, is she talking about the lead role? Or just one of the roles? Because there were other women in that film, not many. And it filmed in Australia, which would have been interesting because she would have been here then. But I'm like, did you really turn that down? And when she called the director of the Universal Madonna biopic a huge misogynist, I'm like, did they announce the name of the director? Are they going to be able to trace that back to who she just called a huge misogynist? Because that'll be interesting. I now want to research that one and find out who she was talking about. But yeah, so like I said, it was a little bit messy. Was there anything else she did? No. Oh, she did say she doesn't smoke, that she just does it for photo shoots. And I'm like, you act like you smoke regularly, which is incredibly irresponsible to promote something that you actually think is too unhealthy for you to do, but you want to make it sexy for other people. I've always had an issue with Madonna smoking because it always did seem fake. And the other issue, and she's always acting like she's smoking other things. So whether she's doing that and not counting that as smoking because she was just talking about cigarette smoke, I don't know. And they showed a little bit of the typewriter scene, the black and white scene in Madame X, the interrogation scene or whatever it's called, and that's about it. Now the album's out. I did have a little bit of a listen to that, but I'm going to save that for when I have to go to the letterbox and actually I'll listen to some music while I do it. So anytime I listen to music. I'm not going to listen to the album because I'm going to watch the film, but I'll probably listen to it later on. I normally would listen to it. It'd be all I listen to when I go out, but I don't go out anymore because pandemic. So that's it for me. It was okay. It was fun, but it was all over the place. It was very messy. He seemed really scared of her and nervous, and they didn't really get anywhere. It was just sort of just fun with Madonna and James, basically. It's really all it was. Jimmy Fallon. I'm thinking of James Coburn, whatever his name is. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I can't believe this turned into a 10-minute video, but whatever. I had to talk about it. I'm still annoyed that Madam X is not streaming today and I have to wait until tomorrow. It wouldn't bother me if they'd, I don't know, said so beforehand. Again, good one, Paramount Plus. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of everything. Thanks.